Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. Sorry it's been about a week that I've been back with you guys to be able to bring some updates on some newer stocks, but I ended up having a wreck last Monday, so I ended up having a lot of things go down and a lot of issues here lately, but everything's fine. I've come out for the better. No, I'm not too injured or anything like that. I came out practically unscathed, so back to it. So, with Palantir Technologies, they've continued on their hard bullish run all the way through the past week and then some, and we've seen just a slight pullback over the past couple of days after ending on our new 52-week high last Friday at $158.79. So, they did end up going even higher, where they did actually hit the 160 price target that we had talked about in the last Palantir video. So they've been able to continue sitting and hitting this 160 in the top end, where you can see over the past 3 days they've stayed touching into the 160s each time. So that's kind of a good sign, because then that means that that is a resistance level to beat. But we are steadily contesting right now off of a lower resistance line, which actually spans well over into last week, where last Thursday, or actually the Thursday before last, whenever it ended up peaking at $155 a share, it's kind of kept the trend going all the way across right here at the 155. So we've ended up having a peak here, peak, bottom, and then we ended up testing down below these, but we ended up finishing higher on these 2 days, over the past 2 days, above this resistance line. So with that being said, we're actually looking pretty good on resistance. This is just a small chart for resistance, but we'll expand here, where you can go even further, or actually a little bit deeper into it, where you're looking at this kind of more broadened sector here, where you can kind of branch way over here back into last month, where it ended up peaking at 148. And if you bring it all the way across, then you'll see that we've kind of kept in tune with this side. So this resistance line here is not too much of a resistance line to really see, because there's some correlation slightly. It's not really that big of a line trend here, but you're definitely seeing more bounce off of this central line right here. So with a central line where you're seeing tops and you're seeing bottoms, then you kind of have to be able to show and see that you have a higher and a lower to go along with it. And with how bullish that this stock is and how it has continued to be, it is hard to continuously redraw these lines over and over and over again, because it just keeps breaking through resistance, pushing forward, and just making new 52-week highs and all-time highs as the days go by. So, and with every bull flag, there is a little bit of a bear, so you can't have every day a positive day. So with us having just these past 2 days where we just kind of dabbled under the center line here, but we've ended up staying closing above this line here of resistance of 155, then it looks like we're really not going to have to stress over it going down a whole lot. I know there's a lot of talk right now going on about how Palantir is hugely overrated and overevaluated and everything like that, and saying that all of this is still market fluff. Once again, there is no way that market fluff can bring a stock, unless it was like a pump and dump, because I'm going to end up going over one of the previous stocks that we did that actually was a pump and dump, where it's typically something that is really quick and it shoots straight up and then it drops straight down the next day or within the same week. For Palantir to go all the way up into hitting the 160 mark, and then you have consensus over broader analysts saying that Palantir needs to be a sell because they have an average price target for Palantir set at $81. That is way out of reach, saying that the stock where it sits now is twice as high as what they believe it should be. There's no way, because they have, once again, secured more contracts, secured more money, and have made their presence even greater in the defense sector. So, with all that being said, I mean, if you look at everything, I mean, between yesterday and today, yeah, we kind of traded out flat, as you can see that we were talking about, but the data for everything that has been coming through for, the major gains coming from last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, boosting the stock all the way up once it actually hit the 160, which was the price target is 160. So, but now that we have ended up getting to this rally, now we have a overweight rating from Piper Sandler that is going to end up showing a bullish 170. So 170 is the new trend according to Piper Sandler, but you also have Jim Cramer, which is on CNBC. So he said that whenever this stock had a price target of 150, how this stock kept trending so hard and so fast that it just sliced through the 150 mark like a knife through butter. So he even believes that Palantir's next stop is going to be 200, and it's not going to be too long to get to there. So that's just going to be yet another way of being able to boost this stock as well, where sure, you could call that a little bit of hype if it's going to be short sellers, but for the majority, there are a lot more people in the long haul holding shares for Palantir, just steadily watching the stock go straight up as it's been doing day after day, month after month, and now getting up to 500% increase on the year. That's just something that is almost completely unheard of through multiple different stocks. So, but kind of on some of the new news that Palantir is looking at. So, if you look at everything, they are looking at a huge opportunity for this AI stalwart. Okay. And what they're ending up doing with this is they are underpinning the momentum that has brought in recent business developments with the U.S. Army, because the U.S. Army has now awarded the Anduril Palantir team a contract for next generation command and control prototypes, which is estimated at $30 million directly for Palantir and Anduril's team. So there's yet another contract that has been taken care of and pushed forward. And the company has also recently launched a strategic alliance with Deliotyte, which I know I said that wrong, so you'll have to forgive me on that, which they are using that company to help accelerate the enterprise of AI adoption in everyday things and everyday uses, including bringing everything deeper into AI space for the military, mainly the U.S. Army and the Department of Defense. So everything is once again coming through really strong for Palantir. They are scheduled to report the quarterly earnings next Monday on August 4th, where actually the full Wall Street and analysts are looking for EPS of 13.8 cents on revenue of 939.71 million. So we are looking really strong for that, because that's actually where the earnings set is actually projected here. So with the estimate being over here for 14, and we're going to be more than likely looking at 13.8 is what their EPS is, what they're planning on, then we are going to be right on target. Sure, we're not going to be scaling product by any means, but with actual being 13 in the first quarter and us going to 13.8 in the second quarter, that shows once again Palantir is continuing monumental growth in their sector and completely dominating their own field. So, I hope y'all liked the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you did like and what you think I could do to possibly improve the video if you liked it, or tell me something that you liked about it as well. If you have a specific stock that you like, that you hold, and you have that's holding up the bulk of your portfolio, please drop it down in the comments below too. I would love to be able to get a hold of another stock and do some more research to be able to bring that stock to the community here on YouTube. It won't be too much longer, and I'm hoping to be able to bring this information and more to other streaming platforms as well. So stay tuned for that. Once I get those up and running, I'll let you all know. So, with all that, this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?